Okay.
Okay.
I
Hello, how you
wanted
doing?
to link up with you in regards
Mm-hmm.
to our conversation about um, the lawsuit, but also I wanted to.
Or maybe I have good news. He
Oh,
wanted $2 to settle, so I just gave him $2.
oh
But I split
shit.
them in two bills and I threw it at them.
Um, that that works. All right. Well, that makes this
Yeah,
conversation a lot
yeah.
easier. Um, who do you think should be chief of police of LSPD? This conversation remains strictly between us.
Um.
And my reason for asking is
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's going to be some time away. However, I know that okay, look, election might be like, let's say it's the 14th, and then election ends on the 17th, 18th. I may only get 2 days. So I want to make sure there's enough like
Mm.
runway to at least have in my mind who would make sense. And transparently, I don't want to put some bozo at the top because that might be funny, but then there's no police department left, right?
Yeah. So, um, personally, from the people that I see that step up and that actually are not scared of saying whatever they have to say,
Mm,
um, I think that at least Viv, like Lieutenant Viv, right?
mm,
She needs somewhere where she can have more influence because
mm.
and the reason why I say that right now is we have been and I have actually been I've asked Eric to give her a position as a captain,
Vivian
right, so
might
that
be
she
good.
can be in high command and have a voice for a lot of the things that are hurting us, right?
Mm,
And uh, it's been like shift one, we have been struggling. I have been very vocal about the struggles that we've had. I have explained like how we can fix this, right? Viv is very much of the same opinion. But we continuously see um it's like a burst of, oh yeah, you guys can do this, but it's like, no, you can't, right?
mm.
So to be honest, as long as it's someone that has will, has the balls to do the changes that need to be done,
Mm.
and is willing to like be there if things go to shit, I think they're a good one. But sorry, let me just mute this. Um, but realistically, like, um, we got some shift one high command with BCSO, right? But the issue that when it falls under the LSPD is BCSO is building up your own department. They are focused on that. So because they're focused
I
on
think they're
that, they
getting
don't have.
reset.
You think so?
That is the impression I've been getting. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
but I don't know. I don't okay. Don't say that to anyone outside of this, because there's so much.
No
I
worries.
don't have all the answers. I'm going on a lot of speculation myself. All right. I don't even know what the mayor can do. For all I know, the federal government can come in and dictate a whole lot, right? Um, but
Yeah, I mean, but to be honest, like I don't even know if this is something that she would want, right? So I think that one of the best things that you could do it is if indeed you do win mayor and so on, and you have
wait, the
that
Senator
influence and
Medical
power,
Authority
I
Director
would
candidate.
actually try to open it up
Mm,
to I wouldn't say elections or anything like that, but for people to apply and I'll like
mm.
to sit down with you and see what they would want to do with the LSPD if they were indeed like voted as chief.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the route I'm going. I'm also trying to get ahead of. Look, I'm going to be straightforward with you. I had a rally earlier, and I had Officer Maxwell sort of have a very reductionist take of my opinion on the incident on the 7th, and I'm going to be was it the 7th, the 4th? No, the City Hall thing.
The city hall thing, yeah.
I'm going to give you my very direct opinion. I think that the actions of those on City Hall was a reaction to, what's the word I'm looking for? Being unhappy at a very high level. Now, does that justify what their actions? It doesn't. But is it important to know the why? Absolutely. Unless we're willing to write off half the city. Now, while I can take in what was effectively holding down an entire building, you know, even if I were to look past that, the attack on Mission Row was bad. Doesn't have any logic to it. Why the fuck are you shooting up the police department and the officers for something that is not in their control? It actually reduces the message, right? If you hold down the Capitol building, you're sending a message. If you now go and shoot up Mission Row, you're now kind of like watering down your message entirely. But what I took umbrage to is why officers sat inside Mission Row and did not protect, or at least at minimum, like, have a barricade, 2 miles away. The impression I got from Assistant Chief Ruby, I was in conversation with her. She met me on the rooftop while I was videotaping. Is we lost 2 officers and we were planning. That planning, Anita, was for an hour. I know this because I was videotaping it all. And I don't want to see that.
I wasn't there. I really don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened, right? But I don't know specifically like what resulted into all of that and the thought process to build up all of that.
If there was an action after action report, and if I was mayor, my biggest question would be, why the fuck weren't you on the streets? And sometime action is needed before planning. Because at the end of the day, there was civilians mixed into all that. And even if you end up losing your lives, end up in ICU, which I don't think anybody wants, it still is what the badge is about. You got to put your life on the line. And to me, that was very disorienting. Now, I made this very clear, and I will be very clear about it if anyone asks me my thoughts on what happened on the 3rd. But Maxwell took that as, she tried to convey to me that the PD was only in there for 15 minutes, which is a lie. Like I said, I have the videotape. And then inferred that I'm hiding evidence, which y'all can have the tape. But it's not evidence tampering. I would imply that everybody who's got video footage of anything needs to submit it to the PD in the event it's related to a crime, right? But my issue with that is the grievance of this with us or against us mentality, which I think has been far too long dividing the city. And while I do not want to see a future where any terrorist, be it one group of folks or another group of folks, end up dictating the future of legislation and how the city operates, there needs to be at least some level of competency to understand that upheaval is sometimes a message and that sometimes those messages need to be comprehended. There needs to be not necessarily a middle ground, but some like malleability, right, on how to handle things for the betterment of the civilians that may or may not exist, right? That not everyone is just inherently just a criminal waiting to do criminal things. That there are people out there that are going to turn their lives around and that they need those opportunities. And I think that starts at the top on who that chief of police is. And so what I am looking to do, if mayor, Anita, is probably select 3 competent officers who have a level of sensibility, because breaking into a car, to look beyond just protecting the PD, but looking at the bigger picture of protecting the city as a whole, right?
I think something very important on a chief or so on, whatever. It's whoever the chief that you pick is someone that is gonna mold a lot of the type of people that you also get within the department. It's true that most departments are already, especially the LSPD, it's quite established and so on.
Mm.
But
New chief is going to change everything.
it should set a good preset of the type of department that we need to have, right?
Mm.
Because you would want someone that is like present, but also you can follow up with, that has ideas overall that benefit all three shifts um and the whole department as a whole, but also like I don't know how is it gonna be now with the two counties and such, but I'm a very firm believer that I don't appreciate things like LSPD v BCSO and it's we're enemies and not together or anything like that. I'm probably one of the first people to cut out things like
Yeah.
that, comments like negative comments,
Anita, it's going to be a thing.
and things like that. It
I,
is going to be a
I,
thing. It will
because
always be a thing,
they're
right?
going to have their
It's a
laws.
shift thing, even even
Yeah.
shifts are against each other and so on, right?
Mm.
But there's still like, and I think that with the split of the counties, it's going to be worse. It's probably going to happen. But again, like listen, I was very happy when Barrett got chief. I thought that
He's very intelligent. He's
if things, he's a great officer. He's a great cop. He is a really good cop and so on, right? Um, but I would like to see, and I understand like there's a lot of things, but I generally know that he tries, right,
mm.
to get some things changed. But at the same time, um, trying a little bit harder wouldn't hurt.
I think he's been busy with things, and that's kind of unfortunately affected him reaching his full potential. The way so I'll tell you what is definitely going to happen is if I'm elected mayor, I get full authority over what legislation goes and passes. I'm not going to take on that. Instead, I'm going to actually allow the people to vote for 6 selectmen or women. 3 are going to be put into the position of selectmen and women, and 3 as deputies. They're going to act as representatives for the people of Los Santos, and giving their guidance and feedback for any legislation that passes. Eventually, once that structure is strong, there are going to be 3 votes against the 2 mayor votes. And it will be conducive for the Los Santos Police Department to have a representative that they put forward who's there for all legislative talking and voting. And then in regards to the chief, because in theory, the chief could be the same person, but I think it's better to divide the labor there, right? Because one needs to focus on legislation and the other one for running a department and enacting those things. I'd probably require 3 candidates, maybe 5, to actually propose what their structure would look like. So it looks like they have a plan and they're just not running for it, just have the fancy title and then they fuck off. So effectively saying, if you want this, put the work up, right? Because this is a real job. You have people, the city to look after. You have people to look after. This isn't some like you get to put the badge on and walk around in your fancy vehicle, right? It's the same thing for mayor, right? Like if I win, there's a
Yep.
fucking lot of responsibility. If I take this and I just fuck around for 3 months, 6 months, I mean, you're kind of doing a massive disservice. So I want to put those names up. So, you know, have them. I'm going to probably pick 5 names. If you want it, show me what your plan is. Like actually put in the work. And if you can't put in the work, then you never wanted it to begin with. Right? If you can't do that, you're not going to do the work for 3 months. And then have
That's very much true.
then I'm going to have the police department decide in the best of 3. And right now, I think Barrick deserves another kick at it. Though probably I want someone new. Because regardless of anything, you got to, if there's another opportunity, let the PD decide, right? The second, Nakota comes to mind. And then Viv, from what you've told me and what others have told me. And
He's
beyond
really
that, I just don't know, because I don't want another Ruby. Just transparently, I think she's probably a good cop, not bad people, but the job entails more than just looking after the PD and putting a shield on it against all negative feedback, you know? I need someone that can take negative feedback and say, how do I make this work? You know? Problem solving. And that's what the job of the mayor, and I think the job of the chief of police and assistant chief of police really is. It's protecting the city as a whole, not, you know, me helping like this group and that group and this group and this, you know, it's the city. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are there other names, Anita, that you think I should consider and talking to? And
maybe on shift 3.
Shift 3 should never have a chief.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
This
but
is
it
not
would
to be
still
a dick or
good,
anything. It's just this is when, you know, before the tsunami and after the tsunami is where the city's actually popping. And you know, with all due respect to shift 3, that's when grinders wake up, and it's never going to give you perspective of the whole. I know because I used to run the police department, the Pegasus concierge, and we used to hold it down before shift 3 came into you know, into fruition. This is not, by the way, Anita, this is not to say everyone in shift 3, but there's a big amount of folks. You know what I'm saying?
I would like, at least like have a chat with like either like Alice or Sky.
Would they be willing to operate in prime time?
That's the thing. I don't see them like come around like these times and so on.
Yeah.
So.
They're probably great offices. It's just, you know, I like to, it's just the reality of the matter, right? They could be amazing offices, but if they're not showing up, let me put it this way, right? Let's say that the person you're mentioning, and I'll have a chat with her, but let's say they are the best individual, agnostic to when they operate under, right? But chief of police. The vast public isn't going to appreciate that. And I'd be putting them in a position where they're going to face hell for 3 months. Completely outside of my control, if you understand what I mean. Because it's going to be, why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? And then everyone's going to pay. But
yeah, that's very much true.
But who knows? She might have a solution to it. So I'll definitely.
Maybe.
I will never say no to a conversation. Like my mind can change. You know.
Yeah. Would be always like worth a try, or at least just to understand the challenges that they might have with shift 3. The thing about shift 3, right? And even when I compare it to shift 1, it's like shift 3, like they mass hired a lot of people with a bunch of experience and so on. They got them up and running. They got them to FTOs. They got then those people like to run other academies with more experienced people and so on, right?
I'm not sick. I've been talking for 7.5 hours straight.
Together. You know, there's no departmental shit. You know, they do their own training and academies and everything together, right? And then I look at shift one, and we are struggling with experienced people. We genuinely are. Um,
I
I just
don't think
got
there's
like
a
a
lot of
list of people.
experience, Anita, in shift 2. I like your shift 1. You guys have personality, and you're like talking like we are now, and I don't see you itching to go to a shootout.
No, I'm
Like
not at
shift
all.
2, in my opinion, is such a disaster. Like
It is.
it's like someone goes and injects everyone with like speed, and the moment there's anything serious to talk about, they're not there. It's scary. Like they're like gang members with a badge.
I I used to be pure shift 2 a long time ago, and nowadays once I get close to it, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I just enjoy my early times, my before storm, and then after kind of what I've been finding to enjoy more, because it's you also get to do a little bit more, talk to more people, get involved with people, rather than just going from back to back to back
Yes.
to back calls and so on.
And I want to see
But
that level of uniformity. Like you need the TikTok cops, right? Of course, like right, like go chase shit around for a little bit, but the top and foundation needs to just be strong. Otherwise, look, Anita, I'm dealing with a case where a suspect. Hey, I'm at Bolingbrook right now.
Did you speak with the prisoners
I
already?
haven't. Could you let them know after is probably best and apologize on my behalf?
Yeah.
If they, because otherwise I'm only gonna have 10 minutes for them.
There's also like a homeless event across from Strawberry Gas station.
Okay.
They wanted to see if you wanted to head over there
Let's
to
do
talk
the
to them, but you're
rally,
probably busy.
and then
Okay.
we'll see what we can line up. If not,
Okay, sounds good.
we can do tomorrow afternoon.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, appreciate it. I'm dealing with a case where Anita, and this is why it's so hard to I swear I talk to some cops. We have a member of an ex gang, number 2, who wanted to come up, like spill the beans on everything, and a cop put his life on the line.
oh,
I don't know what
really
to do
are
with
a fun
that.
guy, by the way.
I mean, I'm running for mayor, right? Hey,
Yeah.
Nino.
Oh my God! You left your knife on the counter.
Oh,
we didn't
shit.
go and get it.
Bring it to the rally. Bring it to the, Do you
Okay.
mind bringing it to the rally?
Yeah.
What's your name again, by the way?
Mason Dixie. Fun fact: my parents named after my grandparents who were slaves.
Double D, Deputy Dixie. All right.
All right. Yeah. Oh,
All right.
wait. That's actually bars. Wait. It's gonna go hard.
What can
All
I
right.
say? All right. Appreciate you.
Where's the rally? Where's the rally? Where?
Legion Square, I believe. It's on Twitter. I don't even know, actually.
All right.
The rally is food and drink, Legion Square.
All right.
All right.
Say, I double D en route.
All right. See you soon.
All right.
So it's kind of like, you know, what I want to be able to do is have conversations about those kind of things and be like, this is like a real issue, right? This is not a PD or a criminal or civilian thing. It's like, those things can't be happening. Because if that happens, in my mind, who the fuck is going to feel comfortable talking to the police department? You know what I mean? And then how do you guys take that and then, you know, investigate?
That is a very challenging one for sure.
Yeah.
That is.
So,
Jesus.
so anyways, if you have any other names that come up, please let me know. I'm going to keep like
think about
reaching out
it.
to offices, trying to get their take on things. At the end of the day, it's going to feel like a shakeup. I don't think no matter what, it won't feel that way. And I'm thinking worst case scenario, just because that's how I like to be. Think worst case, and then if a better case happens, you get the feeling of relief instead of more doom. But
Listen, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you.
please.
Oh, okay. It's actually an officer on the car. Cause I looked at that car and it seemed like there was someone.
I
without,
thought
like,
someone
paper.
stole it too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, same. That's literally what I was saying. I was like, fuck, man. All right. Here's how I see it, right? No matter what, the whole like split of the counties and so on, it's gonna happen. There's gonna be a difference.
Mm.
And whatever mayor gets elected, there will be a shakeup. No matter what it is, it's gonna happen, right? And people either doom or adapt to whatever it's about to come.
Hey, Anita.
And hello. People either adapt to about what's to come,
Yep.
or they can keep dooming and then just sit back on their dooming while
Yes.
other people are going through and adapting. I have been through so many changes in the police department that it's actually like, I mean, have I doomed? Yes, I have in the past when it was probably like my first restructure or my first change of whatever, right? But I have learned that honestly, doing that just brings you way more stress and anxiety for something that you have no control whatsoever. This is happening. People want it or not. You either get on board with it or you just complain about
I'm gonna
it.
steal your word. Adapt.
Sure.
That is what I'm looking for. A chief of police that can adapt. Because this city is going to be changing all the time. And no one can be stuck in their ways. Right? That includes the lawyers. That includes the criminals. That includes the police department. Anything can change. Moonshine could become like legal in Blaine County,
Oh my God,
but
that'd be
illegal in
crazy.
Los Santos. Right? And that adaptation and being ready to adapt, being ready to design through legislation and through policy, stability is what's needed, you know? And
That is
anyone
very
who
much true.
cannot think beyond what they've been trained to do and what they used to, they're just not going to work out. They're just not. It's just, you know.
Yep, and yeah, you need people like that by your side,
Yeah.
leading, changing, moving these things forward. Um, because if there's something that I learned coming back to Los Santos, is there's no point being stuck in the past. Gotta move on.
Yep. 100% right. Look at me. I'm a civilian. You know, I haven't done even attempted to do a crime in the last 7 months. Only run a
Good,
business.
good.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
crazy. It's just boring to me. Well, fucking rob a bank, then what?
Yeah, I mean, if
You
you've
know?
done it all right and so on, like it comes
I
down
mean,
to
I used to sell
the place
guns under
that's,
Mission
like,
Row PD for 3 years.
oh my God.
Yeah, all the class 2s.
Jesus Christ, we should.
Then I realized these fucking criminals are dumb as fuck. It's not worth doing something like that anymore. Not interesting, you know?
This is for sure.
Well, I want my
shakeup for
class
you,
2,
you know?
please. Why isn't he giving it to me? Even though I plaster shit all over Twitter. Jesus fucking Christ. People are stupid. Anyways.
This is a shakeup for sure.
Yep. All right.
Who is even your competition? Like, who's running for sheriff of Los Santos County? I have no idea.
Cornwood in Blaine County. Well, I'm in Los Santos, right? And it's
Yeah.
Oswaldo in Los Santos, which I think is like
Oh, I
literally
thought
the
Osvaldo
biggest
was in
doom
Blaine
for the
County.
PD. But I think some people have bought into his copium. You know what I mean? I mean, he's got like folks like Eugene backing him. So if that's who you want, picking a chief of police and flipping your shit around, I mean, you know, so be it. At the end of the day, you know, that's what the people want. Anita, I gotta get
Thought he
going.
was
It's been a
running for-
pleasure.
Yeah, you're fine. You have the rally, so go.
Yep.
And good luck. All right.
Yep, absolutely.
If you need anything or so on, and if I have any more names, I'll let you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Anita.
All right. Okay, no problem.